Goalless at Roots Hall 7 days ago. We had a glut of goals tonight at the Keep Moat Stadium. Brian Stock's penalty got Rovers on the roll. An own goal, or was it, for Jason Price? That was 2-0. He thought it was his, and then we saw the wonder feat of James Coppinger. Even Sean O'Driscoll smiling at 3-0 before half-time. Coppinger got another just after the break. He couldn't believe it, and neither could Coppinger when he sealed his first career hat-trick. And they were on their way to Wembley and a playoff final date with Leeds United. Joy as well for John Ryan of the Rovers tonight, the Doncaster Rovers chairman. Peter Beagrie, were they simply a class apart tonight?
They were tonight. Absolutely everything we expected of them. They've threatened to do that many times this season, dominate possession but failed to finish it off in the right areas. That wasn't a problem tonight. They were immense. What
was the difference, do you think, between the first leg 7 days ago and this here tonight?
I just think they relaxed in their home atmosphere. We thought it would count against them, but they dominated possession and they weren't wasteful in it. You know, they had that many bodies forward, and the man had an option on the ball. And what they do specifically well is keep passing in tight areas and then expand. And when you do that, you're going to create gaps. And tonight, I must say, that was a footballing lesson.
It was the 10th playoff game that we've seen. Have we seen a better team performance so far this season?
No, absolutely not. But it counts for nothing. You know, all Yorkshire pride to play for now. It's going to be an absolute nightmare for the authorities because the train station from Leeds comes through Doncaster as well. So, you know, it's going to be a fantastic game.
We think that Gary McAllister left before the end of the game, but he did see the first half and the start of the second half, we understand, as well. What will he be thinking after seeing a performance like that?
Well, he realised what he already knew, that when Doncaster perform and everything clicks in, then you know, they're in for an absolutely stonking game.
There is the chairman, John Ryan, the man who took this club 10 years ago for not too much money when they dropped out of the Football League into the conference. He said himself then they had no balls, no cones and no players. But it has been a transformation of epic proportions. This is a man, by the way, who made his millions in cosmetic surgery, but there's been nothing fake about the way Doncaster have risen up the league, and they could even go another step further.
Well, absolutely. It's great him to have an excuse to show them lovely teeth of his, isn't it? Yeah, he's a great guy. I've got a lot of admiration for him because he's backed this club with a phenomenal amount of money over the years. And
£10 million.
£10 million, yes, and yeah, I think he got that out of his car ashtray as well. So, you know, but it's great to see, and we're in for one titanic game.
And we got he picked up James Coppinger for, was it £100,000? He'd never scored more than one in a game before. Have you seen a better hat trick than this in this league?
Absolutely not. For Gary Birtle's benefit, 3 tap-ins for me. But no, he was tremendous, driving people in the box. They can't touch you then. But as a dribbler, what you've got to do, you've got to manipulate the ball and you've got to move your body. That throws defenders off balance, and we see there's 4 or 5 left in his wake. Absolutely fantastic.
That was the first goal. Got even better, didn't it?
Incredibly, yeah, and you see he's like a matador. He shows him it and then he takes it away. Fantastic. And he said to himself he's doubled, you know, his goals tally for the season. That was the one accusation against him. Fantastic, very, very creative, but not always an end product as far as goals are concerned. But tonight that wasn't. This is sensational. Moves the ball and Green traps it.
Why does he move that ball?
He moves the ball to attract the goalkeeper to take a step. We see there, and then he can't push off and react. Absolutely fantastic from the training ground, and when they work, everybody's happy.
We heard at the start that Sean O'Driscoll, the chairman, described him as the Arsene Wenger of the lower league. Was that an Arsenal-type performance?
Well, it was, and we name-checked it before the game. We said this is what can happen if Southend are not on their game, if they don't close the spaces down and they don't track runners, and it worked out that way.
You've seen Doncaster Rovers play Leeds United here when Leeds won, but did they boss the game that day?
Leeds didn't, certainly. Doncaster dominated as far as chances and possession, and but for a fantastic free kick from Sheehan, who they'd got on loan for Leicester City, and it ended up 1-0 to Leeds, but totally against the run of play.
There has to be a winner, there has to be a loser as well. That is Steve Tilson, the Southend manager. Let's hear from him now with Fraser Dainton.
Steve, what can you say after a result like that?
Another better side tonight. I thought they played some fantastic stuff tonight, and to be fair, they deserve the win.
Could things have been a lot different had you not hit the bar early on and then had a penalty awarded against you?
Yeah, and obviously, you know, in hindsight, if James Walker don't hit the ball and it goes in, maybe a different game. But like I say, over the 90 minutes, I thought they played really well tonight, and like I say, deserved the win.
Just how big a disappointment was it to concede so many?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the one good thing is we went right till the end, and you know, we scored the last goal. You know, fair play to the lads, they've kept going. But like I say, it was a tough game for us tonight. I thought they played some fantastic stuff, and I said before the home tie that they're the best footballing side in our league, and like I think they showed that tonight.
Just a word about your fans. You had 2,000 come up from Southend. They did you proud tonight.
Incredible, you know, 5-0 down, and you know they're still cheering the boys on. Fantastic stuff, and like I say, they've been like it home and away all season. So hopefully we can bounce back next year, and like I say, be back up the top again next year.
Thanks, Steve.
Cheers.
Second best tonight, Southend, but they have a core of players who've been together for quite a long time, Peter. Do you think they'll come again?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they've had a tremendous season, and to lose like that is a bit unfair, but supporters were fantastic. Nice to see the Doncaster fans clapping their fans.
Well, what does Sean O'Driscoll make of tonight's performance from his Rovers side? Let's hear from him with Fraser.
Sean, congratulations. You needed a big performance from your boys tonight. That's exactly what you got.
Well, we've performed like that most of the season, so you know, you've got to score the goals, and tonight we scored the goals, and sometimes it doesn't happen like that, but pleased for everybody.
What about that performance from James Coppinger?
Yeah, I've just said to him I wish he'd have done it at Cheltenham and saved all this. No, he's got sublime skills, and he just needs to add the end product, and he had the end product today.
It was such a tight affair down at Roots Hall. What was the big difference tonight, do you think?
Well, obviously the goals were the big difference. I just thought there's a lot of playoff teams struggle with their home legs, and I've watched a lot of playoff games over the years, and we just felt that we had to match their determination, and that was our big thing all week, to try and match their determination in the game. And we thought if we do that, we could, you know, we've got ability. So I thought we did that from the first whistle.
Leeds were the last side to win here. Can you turn it round at Wembley?
Yeah, I thought we performed just as well against Leeds, and we got beat. So you know, that's football. It's a Yorkshire derby. The chairman's dreamt of a Yorkshire derby at Wembley, so he's got his dreams come true. So it'll be a great occasion for everybody.
Well done, John. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it has to be remembered that had Doncaster Rovers won at Cheltenham on the final day, they'd already have been promoted. It didn't happen, Peter, but what does it say about their resilience and their courage that they've got another bite of the cherry now? Well,
it speaks volumes, and the manager there, very understated type of guy. You'd expect him to be really flamboyant with the way that they play football, wouldn't you? But he's done a tremendous job here, and he's implemented changes like Coppinger getting in the centre of the pitch. He's only a lightweight lad, but he's said to him, get on the ball and dominate games, and you know, he did that tonight. It's
not the biggest playing surface in the world here at the Keep Moat Stadium. What do you think they'll make of the wider spaces of Wembley?
They can exploit them without a shadow of doubt, and it's very much Southend look like Leeds, you know, 4-4-2 and everything like that. They've got the Kraft and Gale of Dougie Freedman now, though, which is a big difference. Beckford has been carrying an ankle injury. He's going to be fit, so it's going to be an absolutely fantastic game. Well, the build-up is all going to be about the contrast between the two clubs. Leeds, the giants, who've fallen on hard times, and Doncaster, who've risen like a phoenix from the flames almost. How well matched are they in playing terms? Well, I'd say that it's a total contrast in both the way the sides play. I think Leeds are stronger and more resolute, and if they can get pressure on the ball and get in the face of the Doncaster players, you know, they might just be a bit more subdued than they have been tonight. But if you let Doncaster dominate possession of the ball, they can really hurt you. So who would be starting as your favourites a week away? I think because of the situation and the adversity with the Leeds, I think it would probably be Leeds. But there'll be a lot of people in football who think that this Doncaster side, given the chance to play, can beat anybody. There's no doubt that if Leeds managed to get up, they would, we suspect, have the resources to go from strength to strength and maybe challenge to get into the Premier League. But do you think that could happen here as well? It could do. We've seen how deep these pockets are, and he hasn't got short arms. He puts his hand in his pockets, he brings out the money, he invests in the club, and he's a massive fan of the club, which obviously helps. And they can certainly do that as well as Leeds. Well, we've seen from Bristol City that sometimes playing football in the Championship can get you further than you might think. It helps, and it helps you go up the divisions if you play football. If you're long and you're direct, that'll only get you a certain way. Gary McAllister knows that's why he's implemented the changes at Leeds, and Sean O'Driscoll certainly knows that here at Doncaster.
We cannot wait for the Yorkshire matchup. Peter, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Peter's certainly enjoyed it, and I hope you have as well. And there is more to come tomorrow with Rochdale Darlington from noon on Sky Sports 1 and HD1. These are the last 2 playoff games either side of the FA Cup final. Cardiff against Portsmouth, 2 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And the final League 2 playoff semi-final second leg, and it could be tasty as well given all that's been said in the build-up. Stockport Wickham, 5:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Boxing now on Sky Sports 2. Colin Lyons in his European light welterweight title bout up against Gianluca Branco. Match ball for James Coppinger tonight. I'm sure, though, he would swap that for a place in the Championship. Only Leeds United stand in their way. London is calling.
More sport, news and views at skysports.com.